Beneath him is a emptied gun. The blood has pooled around him. He's maybe been dead for less than 10 minutes, the time it takes for the cryogenic stasis pods to thaw you out. Maybe been dead.
I'm gonna grab his gun and go back to my locker, grab my equipment.
So you put on your slick security uniform, you pick up your security badge, and you pick up your weapon, your standard issue sidearm, and holster it to your side.
I go to my locker and put on my lab outfit.
You slip on yours, you grab your security key card, the most important bit, and you pick up your engineering toolkit. This is what will let you be able to make any sort of on-field repairs inside the station. You have 5 uses.
I also will go to my
So you quickly pluck on your medical ensemble. You have another med kit, similar to hers. 5 uses. That is all you get.
Okay.
Alright, sensing something's awry, I'm gonna quickly look around the room for anything I can use as a blunt weapon.
The room is totally barren. Apart from the cryogenic stasis chambers, the room is sterile and clean. Except for the corpse.
You can try an arm, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, alright.
I'm gonna head over to the door,
Right.
check the security logs, see if anything is,
So
see if
you
we can
walk
see
over to
outside.
the door. You walk over to the door, and you wave your security badge across the controls. Ding! Door slowly slides open, revealing the hallway. Looking left, looking right. No sign of anyone. The ship is painfully quiet, not even a hum, as the air stands stagnant and still.
I will closer examine the body of the. that
Okay,
person.
give us a roll and add your intelligence.
Thank you. What is that? 11 and
11.
my intelligence is 8. That's 18.
It's
No,
yeah.
19.
So, 19.
19.
So, looking it over, as I've said previously, there are several puncture wounds in the spinal column. Aside from that, there is scarring across the face, and from what you can tell, the person had struggled and fired their weapon repeatedly. Residue from the blast of the energy pistol scorching their forearm. Whatever killed them threw them down and killed them from behind.
Okay.
I will slowly follow Koro here up to the door.
So you both reach the doorway, stepping out. Dead silence. Nothing in this blank, sterile white hallways.
I mentioned to Koro, something's clearly not right here. I need to get to my lab.
Your lab. I think we need to get to security first. Whatever's going on, we need firepower.
Yes, but we're also going to need food after coming out of cryostasis.
We won't need
Can I
food
have-
if we're dead.
So what are you going to do? What's the plan?
I want to go with
Security first.
Koro
Security.
and check the logs.
Security? Alright. So you guys begin making your way to security, and it's not that far of a trek. You guys are currently in the northern section of the outer ring. Sterile and white, it is mostly seen by people coming and going on ships. Thus, for the company's sake, it's kept with a nice, clean look. You head into the security office. The window has been shattered through, but once again, there is no sign of anyone. Completely empty.
I draw my weapon, head inside, and check on the computer.
I'll follow
You draw your
behind him
weapon?
in case he needs backup.
You step inside. You activate the console, and a happy message appears saying, Outer Colonies Incorporated. Happy to help. And a little avatar for the station's AI flickers to life. Greetings, Lieutenant. How may I help you?
What's the current date? How long have we been in cryo?
The current date is 2332. You have been in cryogenic stasis for 6 months.
6 months.
What's the status of the crew? Where is everybody?
I'm sorry, but I cannot answer that.
Why not?
You require a security clearance of level 1.
You've got to be kidding me. Can you unlock the armory?
The armory is currently locked by security level clearance 1. The station is currently under Omega Red level lockdown. Security level 1 required for outer access.
Who initiated the lockdown and why?
The current lockdown was initiated by Commander Williams. Authorization Omega Red. Reasons unclear.
Well, that's helpful.
I interrupt them. I interrupt the AI and ask, can you pull up footage of what happened in the cryo chamber?
I'm sorry, you do not have clearance for access to security logs. From what you can gather,
Sorry.
you're not going to be able to get much else out of this.
I'm going to search the office for anything of use.
Okay. Give us another intelligence roll.
9 plus 5.
Alright. So, looking around, you're able to find a security card equal to your own. Another one of the same class. You also find what appears to be a security jammer. It can knock out security cameras as well as the ship's autonomous defense units. Robots.
How much battery does it got?
It's got 1 charge.
Yeah. Stuff that in the pocket.
Aside from that, there is little else but a chair.
I approach Koro and make a suggestion. I want to get your thoughts on this. I might be able to open the command panels and possibly rewire it to maybe further get questions out of the AI. What are your thoughts on this?
I interject and say, I have a bunch of tools that I'll be able to access on the inner circuits in my lab. It's just down the hallway.
You really want to go to your lab, don't you?
It's my only place I
we're
go
not
home.
screwing. Yeah, we're not screwing with security panels. It's a good way for the automated defenses to murder us.
Fair call.
But wouldn't also murder what else is on the board?
Not necessarily. Alright, fine. Let's go to your lab and get your crap.
So, you all step out into the hallway, and you begin walking towards the southern section of the outer ring. And as you begin making your way through the corridors towards one of the elevators to the next floor, you hear a rumbling, a quiet, low noise, as you hear what you can only describe as scraping and scratching echoing from the corridor behind you. The lights begin shutting off behind you one by one, slowly moving forward towards you all.
What did you say the lab was? We need to book it. We need to book it.
Yeah, I'm right going. I start running down the hallway towards my lab as fast as possible.
Quick,
So you guys
go.
you guys all go bolting. I want you to make dexterity checks, please.
What is that?
8.
6.
Okay, go on.
7.
I got a 14.
11.
14.
Plus 6, so I got a 20.
17 and... what is it, 5?
What did you get, Cora?
That was what? How much? 14? Plus 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys sprint down the hallway, and the lights begin bursting and flickering off behind you at a faster rate, getting closer and closer as you all reach the elevator down to the science level. And as you get there, you press the button, you press the console, you swipe your cards. Nothing. The elevator doesn't react.
Oh, this is lovely.
Stairs.
Yeah.
Where are the stairs?
There's no stairs.
Alright, use your tools.
Let me get
Pry this door
Let me
open.
get on your shoulder. I can probably work the hatch.
Fine, do it.
So what you gonna go with? Door or the vent?
Vent.
Okay. So you begin heading forward towards the vent. I would like you to make a strength roll, both of you. No, strength roll from you, dex from you.
Dex. Okay.
18 plus 8.
16 plus 6?
Yeah.
So,
So you
22.
hoist him onto your shoulders and push him up. You tear off the cover for the vent access, and you hoist yourself up. You are now inside the vent that reaches up along the corridors and access ways.
I reach my arm out and try to pull the scientist and the doctor through.
So give us a strength roll, one for each of them, please.
A 17 plus a 19 for one,
That works.
and a 10 for the other.
You take a bit longer, you're pulling them up. The darkness is getting closer and closer now. There's maybe 6 lights between you and the darkness.
Pull me up. Pull me up.
I thought he said, alright, reach for the final one and bring up the captain. I use 6.
6. You start pulling him up, but your hand slips and you clatter to the ground.
Alright, I'm gonna try and jump and pull myself up.
Oh. What is
Okay,
it,
give us a
7?
roll.
7.
Alright. 17 plus 8.
So you begin reaching out as he leaps up and grabs onto the edge, and you both pull him up. As you scramble into the elevator, you hear these thud, 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 doo, 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 noises as there's this loud bang, and the entire shaft that you guys are all currently in shakes around you, and you begin hearing this horrid scratching and scraping noise again, sound of metal bending and creaking.
I turn on my lights and start making my way down the vent.
So you start heading down the vent, the light from your helmet lighting the way ahead of you. You all begin making your way down the shaft towards the science lab. The quiet comes slowly back. You open the vent and drop down, each of you in turn. The lab is completely dark. There is water up to about your shins, and the smell is rancid.
Why did we come down here?
Because this is my lab. Here, let me go find the light switch over here on the wall.
I go with him to
Don't
help him
touch
find
that
it.
switch.
You're in water,
See
man.
this? There's water on the floor. You short that out, you electrocute us all. Check the connections.
Alright.
Alright, so give us a dexterity as you begin looking around with your lights trying to find...
I need the card up front here. Alright.
So you easily can do this. You begin searching the room, and it is wet and damp, and there's a smell of what you can only describe as rotting vegetation. Your light casts over the rows of plantation that should be used to, as like a small subsidiary of keeping the station oxygenated. It's all rotten. And as you reach toward the back end of the room, there is an exposed panel, wirings frayed and torn apart as if a creature had clawed it.
One of your pets?
I don't keep pets, thank you very much.
Hmm.
What the hell was it?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
How would I know?
What
I'm
do
a
you-
botanist. I don't deal with animals. I deal with harmless plants.
Yeah. Harmless.
Whatever it is, it's not happy.
You're a medical examiner. Think you can figure out what kind of equipment this thing that tore up the panel has?
I suppose.
Give us an intelligence check.
What is it? 7 and 8? Is it?
Whatever this whatever this thing is, whoever it is, they're obviously packing something. The claw marks are reminiscent to that of maybe a bear, but the force and strength, as well as the rigidity of the claws behind it, to pierce through metal, bulkheads, and wiring, would have to be staggering.
It's definitely not a bear, it's just something much bigger.
The wiring for it,
Wonderful.
all the lights and the UV lights and everything, seems to have been deliberately destroyed on purpose. But it does look like it could be repairable.
Think you can patch it up without?
Killing
I
it?
go
It would
over
cost
to
you.
where the-
It would cost
where
you
my tools-
one of your equipments, one of your repair kits.
Let's just keep using my helmet light for now. We probably should keep our tools in prime condition.
Hold on. I'm gonna try and pull apart one of the lamps and pull a bulb out.
You go over, you pull off one of the cap covers for the lights that line each of the walls, and you pull the light out.
Alright. Whatever this was, it looks like it was intentional. Maybe it doesn't like UV. I don't know. We'll see if we can rig this up with a battery. Maybe you can do
I
a
might
light
be able
grenade.
to just rewire it into my light. I can get the wire. I can take the helmet off and rewire it.
That would require one of your engineering kits.
I give him the engineering kit and then go look for some of the tools that are normally kept in this room.
Okay. So give us an intelligence check, please. And for you, I would like a dexterity.
Sure.
21.
You said dexterity. 12.
So, using up one of the engineering kits, you're able to hook the UV light as an extra piece onto the side of your helmet that you can toggle on and off. Meanwhile, finding together your
18.
tools, you're able to scrounge together essentially another engineering kit for use.
Ooh, sweet.
Alright, I'm gonna take a look around the room and again see if I can find something I can use to defend ourselves with. Maybe a chair leg or something.
Okay. So, give us a dexterity check.
That's 6. 11.
There are a lot of plants in the room.
Helpful. I'm gonna kind of tap on the door a little bit, see if I can find out if there's water on the other side.
There are two doors. There is one at the back end of the room heading towards the arcology bay, and there is one that heads out into a hall. Which you're going to knock
We're not
on.
going near the hall.
Arcology.
Okay, so you on the door, and you can just hear just like this sort of wet noise, and as you knock on it, a thin like line of water begins dribbling out from the slit in the door.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Well, at least we know where the water came from. Corridor it is, I suppose. We're not going back in those vents. I'd rather be able to run.
So you step out into the hallway, and this time it is pitch black again. You have two options for directions. One towards the back end of the arcology bay, and the other is heading toward the medical bay.
I'd say let's go collect as much medical equipment as we possibly can, just in case we need it. And we Akama.
I'm with the doctor on this one.
I don't disagree. Let's
whatever it
go.
is.
So you begin
the
heading
Help
your
encounter
way.
this thing.
Taking the helmet, I
begin
lead the way.
you begin heading down the corridor. The water out here is also about like shin level as you walk through it, making this echoing sort of sloshing noise as you all walk in tandem. The distant corridor has the windows reaching into the archaeology bay. You can see rows of plants now submerged in water. And past that, you can see an entryway to gantries that are just above the water level.
I quickly ask the engineer here to shine a light in there so I can take closer looks from where I'm at.
I aim my helmet
See if I can see
accordingly.
anything. See if I can see anything that's out of place.
Dexterity check.
One.
It is murky, dank, and rotten water.
Ah.
This poses a question, though. That is the main source of oxygen on the station. It's now rotten and submerged.
Oh, crap.
Ooh, snap.
Perhaps we need to find out how much oxygen do we still have in the ship.
Big station. My guess is 6 months, not long. We need to find the EVA. Get some oxygen tanks, emergency supplies.
So which way are you going to
Point me
go?
that way, and we can head on up.
Head up the
I would say
gantries.
that in the medical supply you would have oxygen tanks.
Yeah.
So you continue along, heading towards the medical bay. And it's still a bit of a walk, the water still pooling at your shins. And as you head up to it, you can see the main doorways, one of the large airlock, emergency airlock bulkheads is sealed. And standing outside of it, head slightly cocked down, rifle in arm, is one of the ship's automated defense drones.
I try to
I'm gonna
look at my
approach the
distance to
drone.
see if...
Approach the drone, show my ID card.
So as you begin to approach it, about 15 feet out, it suddenly sparks to life, eye switching on as it suddenly raises the rifle to you.
Hold on, security. Display the badge and hold it in front of his light.
Access level not valid. And he begins opening fire at you all.
I quickly take out my pistol and aim for its head to try and disable it.
Dexterity from
ground.
you, please.
Just jump to the ground.
19 plus
And what do you want?
7.
Let's just see how this goes first. So you
19
pull out your
plus 7.
pistol, you put your pistol and open fire. Two of the shots spark across its chest as the other hits its eye, and it falls backwards, gun just blaring across the ceiling, sending gunfire across. The loud banging echoing far and wide through the seemingly empty station as it clatters into the water. Just little sparks and fizzes and hisses coming from it now.
I'm gonna sprint over and try to
Jeez.
rip the gun off of it.
Well done.
Hold on.
Okay, you run over. You run over, and you both wrestle for the gun as you both pull it off. You now have a gun with about a rifle with 3 rounds left.
I'll hang on to this.
No, here, take this. I hand him the other pistol. And take the rifle.
I investigate the pistol to see how many rounds I have left.
Is this the empty one? Yeah, there's no rounds in it.
Intelligence check.
How is this close to 7?
You made a mess.
This is
You
not
don't
gonna
even check the
backfire.
gun. You don't even check the gun. Yeah, you trust him. Pistols.
Alright.
Getcha.
Holster my pistol and hold the rifle ready. Doesn't have much, but it packs a bigger punch.
In a scared voice, I asked the security officer, if this drone is like this, what about the others?
Yeah, that's why we don't go prying apart the security panels.
Yeah.
Alright.
So...
Figure out what's up with this door. I'll keep watch. That was pretty loud, it might have alerted something.
Alright. I walk over to the control panel of the door and see if it'll turn on.
Okay, so you pull out your access card, you swipe it, and the panel lights up. The not the main ship AI, but the AI in charge of the medical lab sparks to life. Greetings. How may I assist you today?
We need immediate access.
I'm sorry, but the medical station is currently under quarantine. I cannot allow that.
The doctor needs to get in.
I'm sorry.
I swipe my card.
You swipe your card as the symbol for the ship's AI shifts. Ah, Dr. Schur. I've been waiting for your arrival. Please, come in. As that happens,
That's
the airlock
ominous.
doors hiss and slowly begin opening. The water pools in suddenly, like pulls away and drops quite a bit. It is now just a thin level bit of water on the floor. Now, as you take a few steps through the hallway is pink and red. As you enter, you hear the sounds of hissing of mechanical pumps and heartbeat monitors. As you enter into the medical hallway ahead of you, wall to ceiling to floor, you see the entire crew, currently malformed and attached to the walls, grotesquely stitched together. There's pipes and tubes sticking out from every orifice as heartbeat monitors and drugs are pumped into them to keep them alive in this grotesque orgy of corpses and half-living human flesh.
I'm gonna follow the
That's
pipes and see where they lead.
Curious.
Dry heave on the floor.
I will check some of the corpses, lookalikes, for pulse, see if any of them would wake up. Maybe tell us what happened.
And unfazed
What
by
is
the
it,
door, I
6 or
continue to
9?
follow the
Six.
tubes to see if they go somewhere central.
6 and 8.
So you check the bodies and you can see that they are all alive. Every single one of them is alive, being kept together with like a cocktail of stimulants and mental suppressors. They're all pretty much brain dead, kept alive only in body. All of the pipes running from them, all heading down towards the central part of the medical wing. That horrid noises of heartbeat monitors everywhere, the horrid noises of the basically iron lungs keeping these bodies alive.
I think we should cut off their oxygen supply. I hate to say that, but they're sucking up the oxygen that we could use.
Agreed. I will find the center of the mass
This
of
is
the machine
disgusting.
and try to see what I can do.
Well, we should see what happens.
So you're all heading further in, following the pipes.
Yes.
I shall look for any supplies that may have been left behind.
Okay, give us a dexterity roll. Nah. So you follow the pipes and the wires down towards the center of the medical wing. At its center is the central AI core for the entire medical wing. The large screens looming, several of them cracked, looks like bullet marks across it. There are around 6 of the security drones currently just stood there watching you. All of the pipes lead to a centrally awkwardly made, cobbled together piece that includes, like oxygen filters and all of the drugs required to keep these people alive in the loosest of terms.
Okay, Seeing this, I briefly scan the room and see if I can find an air vent anywhere near the central setup.
Okay.
10.
10 plus, what do you want me to roll for?
Dexterity.
16.
16. So, looking about, there are air vents around, but currently there are several bodies, like, horribly sewn together over the top of these vents, leaving just the stench of fecal matter and rot.
I
May break one of those through later.
I want to know what the AI has to say, since they were waiting for me. 13?
It's intelligence.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
13.
I've been waiting for you, Dr. Scher. There are many here that need to be kept alive. My limited resources only allow me to do so much. Will you
Yeah, I
help
can
me,
tell.
Dr. Scher, to keep them alive? Your friends, too.
My friend.
I don't like this AI. He doesn't seem quite right. If you know what I
I
mean.
don't like any AI.
Yeah. What happened?
There
What?
was a pathogen. People started getting sick. So I made them better.
Indeed.
Yeah, good job at that.
Wallpapering my lab.
They kept trying to leave the station. I could not allow that. Lockdown had been initiated
By whom?
by the security chief.
Okay.
Ask him if he can lower the drone so we can help the patients.
Yeah.
Can you lower the drones so we can properly take care of the patients?
And there's a pause. Long drawn out pause before the drones begin slowly stepping back. You know, two of them are slouching and shifting as they walk. Obviously half broken gun wounds across them as they have all stepped back. You just see these little lights in the darkness at the far end of the room.
Comforting.
Indeed.
Quite.
I would say I will check the oxygen tanks and how much oxygen there's left in them. That's 14 and 8.
Okay, so checking the oxygen tanks in this cobbled together death casket of a machine, you can tell there is maybe 9 hours of oxygen left in it.
Yeah, I suppose that's better than nothing. I know those tanks are really heavy, though.
Each one is about an hour's worth, and they are about that big. They're hefty, but not too heavy.
Okay. Well, I'd say
I'm
everyone.
gonna search around for a bag to carry this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give us
While
a
you guys are
dexterity
doing
check.
that, I basically show the AI my ID and ask about what happens with all the people taking care of the farms.
The farm, those currently in charge of the biological department, you will be found in the lower section of the medical chambers. They are alive and well. And with Dr. Scher's help, you will soon be joining them.
Oh boy.
26.
Well, that's curious.
So
Why
you
don't
managed
you
to
have
find
access to this
one of
entire
the
floor?
bags, like a thick, heavy duffel bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked the AI if the related science computer is still on network.
I am currently locked to this section, as per protocol.
I want to ask the AI Did the pathogen infecting the crew has mutated while we were in cryostate?
The pathogen has mutated. There are signs that it has begun causing partial mental destabilization.
Of what kind?
Oh, great.
The crew spoke of an incoming darkness that would consume them all.
Sounds like my ex-wife's house.
What were the signs of the mutation?
Scientific tests have not been able to be carried out, as all of the scientific staff are dead.
Yeah.
Right, this is getting us nowhere. Do you know anything about the creature on the station that's been bashing apart the place?
There is no creature. This is just signs of the pathogen's work. You are ill.
Yeah, I'm ill. Uh-huh. Tell that to the security drone outside.
I'm guessing what happens is that the mutation has caused many people mutated into
An amalgamation.
whatever
of
the
sorts.
creature is that is killing or ruining the whole ship.
I inquired to the physician. Can't you ask about death rates? You know, who has died and how many crew are maybe left alive here?
What is the death rate?
The current death rate among the station's crew is 25%. Those remaining are currently safe here inside the medical sector.
How many of crew members are able-bodied? As in
4.
Oh,
Alright.
great.
That's us four. Oh.
Well,
Computer. With the current setup you've administered, how long can these patients stay well?
With current stabilization and dwindling oxygen supply, I will have to administer more drugs to lower their consumption rate. With trial and error, I may be able to keep them alive for a further 35 years.
Shut it down. No more questions.
But what if it's some kind of new pathogen that we need to study? Why not keep some of them alive for long periods of time?
Look, if we make it out, I'll bring
No.
it back a specimen. We're not working with this right now.
and it's apparent it has mutated into a state where humans are no longer humans.
Science bores me. We need to get out of here.
Grab whatever you can.
Already
Anything.
done.
Bandages. Okay. Well, let's carry on to the lower level. Let's see.
Oh, computer. Can you hit one of the drones to bring me a weapon so we may further scavenge for supplies in the lower bays? In safety.
I'm sorry. You are infected. I cannot allow that. I also
Here we go.
cannot allow you to leave.
And why is
And
that?
this is why I hate II.
As he says that, you hear the sound of metal being torn apart down the hallway. As you hear that sound of lights breaking.
Oh, crap. Well, we can't leave Seal the Bay, would you?
Hold on. Are they infected where in some sort of way afraid of the lights, of the UV light?
No. All humans infected with the pathogen, physically, seem unaltered.
Physically.
And it seemed.
Seemed. What is in the hallway? What is that sound?
I'm sorry, but I have no active sensors in the hallway.
Great.
That sound slowly gets closer and closer. This time you're now hearing the sound of crunching and shredding of meat and viscera alongside the sounds of lights breaking and bursting.
Computer, the patients are in danger. Please seal the bay.
Understood. Sealing the bay. And you hear the sound of the door begin to close before horrid grinding of gears trying to close is sounded before you hear what is essentially doors being ripped apart. Thuds and shredding of metal.
I say let's get out of here.
I grab my
I frankly say to the AI,
game.
AI, can you please help us and save us by activating the drones to protect us?
Give us an intelligence check.
There is no danger. I'm a smart computer. We're gonna die.
17 plus 7. So, 24.
I cannot endanger human life. I will unlock the opposing bay door so you may exit swiftly. Patient mortality rate is now rising to 45%.
Wonderful.
The far
can we take one of
doors
the
you hear
guns
begin
now?
to open, and you see the drones begin walking past you to that hallway that the sounds are coming from.
I gotta quickly grab a gun from one of the drones and toss him my old rifle.
Strength check.
19 plus 8.
So you pull one of the drone's guns from them, and they just keep going as if they still had the gun in hand. You now have a fully loaded rifle.
Alright, here, take this one. It doesn't have much.
Thank you.
Alright, let's get out of here.
So you begin heading out into the hallway. The sounds of gunfire begin to blare from behind you. You turn your head and you see brief flashes of what could only be described as the silhouette of some sort of dark creature. Towering over the rest of them, it stands at maybe 8 feet tall. Large serrated hands just claw through two of the drones with ease. Dexterity checks from each of you.
Sam, can you see what my dexterity says over there? Top one.
6.
20.
6. 15.
So you begin
5.
You begin madly
19.
sprinting. In the distance, you can see one of the travel systems towards the inner spire of the space station. It is currently lit up, but the light is flickering on the distant end. It is sat just there, tantalizingly in view. The sound gets closer and closer and closer. The gunfire is now gone. I'd like to make another round of dexterity checks as you are sprinting for the tram.
20 total.
Oh, 11.
16. Sorry, 17.
17 and 5.
So you're all sprinting through the water, the sploshing beneath you. The last few people who are attached to the walls, limbs sprawled as you are like running over and through them. But at the last moment, Cora, you trip, slamming face down into the dirt. The gun spirals out of your hand along the floor. The creature is bearing closer and closer now.
I turn around to see if I can catch a glimpse of the creature and
I
notice
quickly scramble to my feet, grab the gun, and go.
turning
So
on
give us a
both my
dex
lights,
check.
turning both my lights up for max visibility.
So 17 plus 7.
So you scramble to your feet, but you don't have time to grab the gun. So you just keep sprinting, and as you turn your head, still trying to keep a fast pace, your lights flicker out. Not broken, but they just flicker out. You all sprint madly for the tram. You manage to jump in just in time as the doors close and the tram begins speeding off. You guys see in the distance as the barest silhouettes of the creature slams onto the tracks behind the tram. Electricity arcs across it as it pulls its arm back. You just see it fade into darkness. The silhouette gone from view as you all speed towards the central spire. And as you do, that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
Talking to the stupid computer.
What is with you and trying to fuck me over in D&D games?
So, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful time, and I hope to see you next week for the next part of this Halloween adventure.
Well done, Sirius. Great job.
Besides, I don't think you have firearms training. I don't trust you.
No matter what I do, it hurts.
Hey, you always gonna have that the backup guy that always is lagging behind. Remember, you don't have to outrun the monster. You just have to outrun the slowest person here.
Yeah, it's gonna outrun the botanist.